The power of making your own ancestral tool. Across every culture, people created their own ancestral tools, not because they needed permission and not because someone else told them how. They created them because the act of making something with their own hands opened a channel inside them. When you make your own ancestral tool, you're not following my steps. You're not recreating my process. You're not trying to match my experience. You're learning how to trust your own inner command. Your ancestors don't respond to perfection. They don't respond to performance. They don't respond to somebody else's ritual. They respond to you, your presence, your intention, your willingness to listen in your own way. This melt is not about doing it right. It's about creating a moment where your spirit becomes quiet enough for your lineage to meet you. When you place each stone, each botanical, each drop of oil, you're not building a tool, you're building a doorway. A doorway only you can open. A doorway only your ancestors can walk through. A doorway that doesn't require anyone else's guidance, because the guidance you need is already in your blood, your memory, and your spirit. This tool doesn't create the connection. You do. The tool simply amplifies the truth that has always been yours, that your ancestors know how to reach you, and you know how to hear them when you trust your own process, your own timing, your own way of remembering. The tool doesn't create the connection. It amplifies the one that already exists. Ancestor Connector Melt, the creation process. You will need the following to create your own Ancestor Connector Wax Melt. 12 ounces of beeswax pellets, 2 tablespoons of organic, unrefined virgin coconut oil, 80 drops of frankincense essential oil, 60 drops clary sage essential oil, and 120 drops of lotus essential oil. 1 teaspoon each amethyst, black obsidian, pyrite, and petrified wood in small pieces, 24 rosebuds, 12 to 18 sage leaves, and 24 purple globe gumphrenas. This recipe makes 6 large melts that can be cut into quarters for extended use. Everything I use is linked in the description box, and I do make a small commission if you buy through the links. Step 1. Prepare your workspace, where connection begins. Set up your wax warmer or hot plate in a well-ventilated area. Lay out your pot, thermometer, molds, stones, and botanicals. Pre-measure your essential oils so the process flows with intention. This is where ancestral connection begins, not in the wax, but in your presence. The ancestral current doesn't open through effort, it opens through reverence. Step 2. Melt the beeswax, the foundation of continuity. Add 12 ounces of beeswax to your pot and melt it over low to medium heat, around 145 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Beeswax melts slowly on purpose. It teaches you to move with patience, not urgency, the same way ancestral wisdom moves. As it liquefies, let the golden wax mirror the continuity of your lineage, the steady thread that connects you to those who walked before you. Keep the temperature steady, never above 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Too much heat burns the wax and dulls the oils. Connection doesn't come from rushing, it comes from presence. Step 3. Add coconut oil, softening the lineage. Once the wax reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit, remove it from the heat and add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. This softens the final melt and helps it release from the mold. It's the reminder that lineage isn't rigid. It is strong, yes, but also soft, warm, and willing to meet you. Step 4. Infuse the essential oils, breath of the ancestors. Let the wax cool to 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature where essential oils stay potent and alive. Then add 80 drops of frankincense for elevation, sanctity, spiritual clarity, 60 drops of clary sage for intuitive hearing and inner sight, and 120 drops of lotus essential oil, remembrance, awakening, and ancestral openness. Let the scent rise like an offering, a breath that says, I am listening, I am remembering, I am ready to walk with those who walk with me. This is where the melt shifts from ingredients to intention. Step 5. Prepare the molds. Build the ancestral altar. Before pouring, prepare each mold like a tiny altar. Into each cavity, add 1 teaspoon each amethyst for clarity and spiritual hearing, black obsidian to call in truth and ancestral honesty, pyrite for grounding and capacity, petrified wood to represent lineage and continuity, 4 rosebuds expressing devotion and heart opening, 1 to 2 sage leaves for clearing and purification, and 4 purple globe gomphrenas, amplifying elevation and connection. These botanicals and stones don't just decorate. They anchor the melt in remembrance, clarity, and ancestral presence. This is where the melt becomes an ancestral connection tool, not just because of what it looks like, but because of the energies you're placing into it. Step 6. Pour the wax, the first layer of connection. Pour a thin layer of wax into each mold. This helps the botanicals settle and prevents floating. Let it thicken slightly, not fully set, just enough to hold. This first layer is like the first moment of connection. Subtle, quiet, but strong enough to support what comes next. Step 7. Add the remaining wax. Let the lineage rise. Once the first layer grips the ingredients, pour the remaining wax slowly over the top, like ancestral presence filling a space that forgot it was supported. Pour with intention, knowing this tool is being built to amplify your remembrance, not replace it. This is where the melt becomes whole, where the ingredients become a vessel, where your intention becomes form. Step 8. Let them set. Do not rush the connection. Allow the melts to cool naturally. No freezer, no fridge, no rushing. Ancestral connection opens in stillness, patience, and trust. Let the melts honor that. Once fully cool, remove them from the molds and store them in an airtight container. They're ready for your next moment of choosing remembrance, clarity, and connection. Thanks for watching. If something in this video resonated with you, honoring that with a like helps this work find the people who are meant to see it. And I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. It's always beautiful to see how these messages land for different people. And by all means, share it with anyone you think might benefit. If you want to keep exploring with me, make sure you're subscribed. I share new videos every week, and each one builds on this journey in its own way. Please never forget, my intent is your ascent. See you next time.